That's the one.
Wild.
Wild stuff. Okay. That's my Johnny Carson for you. I don't know if you're familiar. So, yeah, last time. Oh fuck, we need music. What are we doing here? Yeah, that's my jam. Last time we left off, sort of right at the end of this epic fight in the host tower, where you guys squared off against a powerful lich who had just seemingly raised a powerful wizard from the dead, and did so utilizing this sarcophagus of true resurrection, which Isolde was able to identify given her studies. And the question was last put to us, what is the religious significance of the sarcophagus? And the answer to that question is that it is a sarcophagus with the god Velsharoon on it.
I know anything about that god.
And
Make a religion check.
yeah, you do. Except for now I'm not seeing it. Where did that information go?
Do you want me to roll for it or no?
Oh, yeah, you can roll for it, and DeMarcus can roll for it as well. Huh. I think it got deleted. So let me pull it again. Okay, yes. So, DeMarcus, or Isolde, you would know that Velsharoon is the god of necromancy. And he is considered an evil god, but he's sort of on the neutral side of that whole spectrum, in that he sort of has picked various sides throughout history. And DeMarcus, when you look into your book of ancient religion, you find this description of Velsharoon. Which
okay. I would publicly kind of convey that information. I would be kind of like walking around it, sort of like speculatively reading out this information.
Yes.
Interesting.
Missile is fully persuaded by whatever argument underlies that excerpt there.
I guess you found your new god?
No, I'm an apatheist. I think the gods are silly. Because you can't not believe in the gods, so I'm just going to ignore them.
Nice. I think that makes sense.
So, but Izzy knows this god as a generally evil god. But neutral, like you said, kind of plays different sides.
Yeah, I mean, insofar as necromancy is traditionally associated with evil, but as you also know, you utilize the powers of necromancy to save people and bring them back from the dead. And that's also something you know about this sarcophagus, that the magic that it relies on to bring people back is essentially 9th level necromancy.
As is Revivify. Not 9th level, but necromancy.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. I've never seen a relic of Velsharoon.
Are you just saying that to anybody or to Luther?
Yeah, to DeMarcus or whoever's standing by the sarcophagus.
Marcus says, "It's not up to mortals to decide what the boundaries of mortality are. An offensive artifact.
You hear a scoff from 10 feet behind you.
So what? We find a way to destroy it?
Luthar turns to you and says, destroy it? Of course not.
Well, I don't know who the fuck you is or why I should even give a fuck. I was talking to them, and he motions to DeMarcus and Isolde.
I'll refer its own sake might be a bigger mistake than we initially thought. I don't think that we should ally ourselves with things like this. He glances at Taryn.
Taryn does not make eye contact.
And Luthar looks at all of you and says, well, if anything, it's above all of our pay grades. This is not a decision we are to make. And then he looks at Johoff and says, and we includes all of us.
Yeah, well, I don't see anyone else here. Does you?
He steps towards you and says, we are representatives of a very powerful organization, one of which your organization is subservient to.
Yeah, Joe is just gonna laugh at that.
You're talking about the Wizards Alliance, then? That they should be made aware of this?
And he turns to you and says, as of now, they already are.
Oh. So what will they do then? It seems a very dangerous artifact.
I mean, hardly. It brings people back.
It brought that thing back. It could bring other things back that we aren't prepared for.
The cost is far too high for this to be weaponized regularly. And
What is the cost?
he sort of gestures towards the, like, remnants of the diamonds that are sort of, like, scattered around the floor, sort of, like, destroyed and burnt up. And he says, if I had to guess, around 25,000 gold.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's just kind of pocket change for people like you with the silver spoons up your asses, ain't it?
He sort of looks at the rest of your group. He says, you all seem to be doing well for yourselves.
not that well. But again, what would the Wizards Alliance do with something like this? I mean, is it their mission to bring something back? Or is it merely an intellectual sort of interest?
I can't speak for all of the interests of the Wizards Alliance, but it is safe to say that all powerful relics are the interest of this alliance. Most of all, those which have the power to do great harm. They must be protected and kept secret.
I thought you just said that these couldn't be weaponized.
I said it's hardly a weapon on its own.
So it will be protected then?
Yes.
Yeah, and who protects it from you people who've decided what to use it for, eh?
He looks at you and says, somebody has to be in charge.
Okay, so Johoff is not gonna attack him, but he's going to get ready to punch him in the face.
Marcus looks at Luthar and says, don't provoke him.
And
Probably won't find anyone in our party who would stop him.
from killing a member of an alliance.
He's quite aggressive when he loses his temper.
Well, given the room we are in, that should not be a threat to you.
He gestures. Do you see 25,000 gold worth of diamonds lying around here?
No, but I do see an artifact which makes me very uncomfortable.
He sort of just folds his arms and sighs.
So you have spoken with who then? Taryn?
A message has been sent, yes.
But the response has not been received?
No.
Marcus looks at Isolde and says, "Tell Marin."
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well.
And Porter sort of steps over to you and says, if you could leave me out of this equation, that'd be great. I have no interest in talking with that guy. And he sort of sits down and starts sort of cleaning his armor.
Understood. I won't mention you. But she looks at him kind of curiously. Yeah, so she's gonna kind of step to the side, I guess, over by Missile, and start thinking of what she wants to say to Marin.
Coincidentally, as Isolde comes this way, Missile's going to go to the sarcophagus and just kind of meander around it and examine it and see if he can learn anything from it. It does have unique properties after all.
Yeah, what are you looking to learn? It's arcane in nature, so it's a little bit out of your wheelhouse, but you're smart enough.
So if there's any, non-magical analogs of whatever mechanism it has.
Damon is just interested to know what Missile thinks of it, so he would probably walk over and offer to help in any way he could.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you can investigate it, but...
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sure it's going to be all magic anyways. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it really is all magic, and it's such high-level magic that there is no sort of artificer analog that you know of. Just sort of meta-level stuff. Artificer spells cap out at 5th level, since you're considered a half-caster. So, there's sort of a precedent that artificing can get you powerful magic, but it can't get you the 6th, 7th level, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th level spells worth of powerful magic.
Yeah. Serious magic. Yeah. Missile would say, "Confound this whole thing," and kind of fume.
I don't want to if Isolde's planning to contact Marin, she can do that, but I would have a conversation with Missile at this point.
Go for it.
Master Missile, is there anything I can help you decipher here?
Not decipher. I'm interested in the properties of this sarcophagus, but it's all magic, Damon, and, well, I have no tolerance for that.
Indeed. What do you make of an artifact such as this, Master Missile? What do you make of something that can return the dead to life?
I suppose I'm not in principle opposed to it, as some of us are. But it is true that in the wrong hands, this can be quite dangerous.
I ask because you seem fixated on a certain goal. I refer, of course, to your desire to find yourself embodied in a construct. Is that not the case?
Oh, it is indeed the case, and as DeMarcus said of our patron, goodness, what was his name? Val Sharoon, does indeed seem to be the case that seeking to explore and extend the mortal condition is most worthwhile.
Would you find that an object such as this might serve the same purpose?
Oh, indeed. Literally. If only I could make empirical sense of it, then I could have it for myself.
I find that I am made distinctly uncomfortable that this object exists. It seems that if we were to obliterate the line between life and death, the natural order of things might become out of balance. I say this with awareness of the irony that I myself am not necessarily a natural thing.
This will puzzle for a minute. Say, I wonder, Damon, sometimes whether the line between natural and artificial is not entirely arbitrary. Indeed, in a way, it seems that everything that exists here in the natural world is itself natural. Whether it be construct or fleshy creatures such as myself.
Curious. I find that this very basic thought had not even occurred to me. I have always considered myself very distinctly separate from the natural world, despite the fact that I live within it. Perhaps I should not be as uncomfortable with these thoughts as I am.
Oh, certainly not. And Missile will kind of look at you and say, I see here wood, in here metal, in here cloth. You're more natural than you think, Damon.
I wonder, Master Missile, supposing you achieve your goal and you are able to extend your mortal lifespan indefinitely, what would you do with that time?
Why, read, of course.
Of
I
course.
feel as if I had 1,000 lifetimes, it would be not enough to read all that needs to be read.
Of course. It is reassuring to know that you seek this power for nothing more than benign extension of your knowledge.
I'm not sure anything else is worth having.
And then I'll step away and leave him to his work.
Yeah, he will likewise resign himself to learning nothing because it's all that confounded magic.
Porter just drags all the corpses into a big pile in the corner while you guys are having this philosophical conversation.
I was wondering what the hell that was.
Strong
that
boy.
was supposed to be.
Karen's gonna poke around for a little bit too, but not learn anything. And then kind of go and look at the rest of the things they've gathered.
Yeah, so I will tell you now that on the woman you find a silver staff, and I'll just post this in chat. That has this quality, though I haven't created the item yet, I just designed it.
That's sick.
And then the black staff, which I'm guessing you would have Luthar identify, since I don't think any of you have identify.
Yeah.
Is this.
Cool.
But you get the vibe from the black staff that it only works if you are aligned to an evil deity in some way. Though when Terran is near it, he does not get the vibe necessarily that he couldn't wield it.
He will keep that to himself.
I have my message from Marin if you want to do that now.
Yep.
So she'll obviously cut away from the rest of the group and send a message that says, in the host tower of Luskin, there is a sarcophagus of true resurrection. Should we trust the Alliance to protect it? I don't know them well.
And you get the response. This is a curious problem. Indeed, it is a powerful artifact, and the Alliance can be trusted, but its existence is indeed a danger. And then he sends back a response saying, I will speak to Taryn, and we will decide what to do. For now, good work.
Well,
I'll respond to him. In the meantime, it seems foolish to leave it unguarded. How soon can you send people here to protect it?
And he sends a message to you, saying, I'm sure Taryn's men can take care of it. In the meanwhile, how goes the, work in Luskin?
We took down the Pirate King, defeated a Lich, probably headed north next in search of the artifact.
1 second. Sorry, our cats were fighting to the death. Yeah, so you described, and that was a response to his message, so there is no...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need to reply if he doesn't want to.
You do get a reply, and he says, That all seems, quite remarkable, though slightly outside the bounds of your mission. I trust you have your reasons. Good luck with your investigation.
Thank you. I'll send another update soon. And I'll go back and join the rest of the group. I've spoken to Marin, and he agrees that it is a dangerous artifact. But he says that we can trust the Alliance, and him and Taryn are going to discuss what is to be done with it, so it will not be wholly up to Taryn, nor wholly up to Master Marin. But
Fucking shocker that is, yeah.
Luther turns to you and says, It is nice to know that, your, leadership has some sense. And he glares at Johoff.
that is very rude. My group also has sense.
There seemed very little sense for you to even be here for this fight, Luthar.
Easy, Damon. And I'll turn to Luthar and say, Marin said that you and Kirath are to protect the area until they can send folks up here to guard this area.
Yes, that sounds right. Very well. We will continue on with our business here. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like, but I think we have things under control. Then he gestures towards the giant pile of bodies.
Yes, I will say, I know that that crevice in the other room leads down to the ruins. I wouldn't go down there. Yeah, there are devils and things that we weren't able to defeat when we were down there. It is maybe not good to go exploring until you've had some rest.
He he ponders what you've said and says, yes, that makes sense. We will work to sealing off the tunnel, at least temporarily, until backup arrives. Thank you.
Of course.
Jooff is gonna step up to Luthar before we leave and say, "You listen to me, little elf boy. News travels around this world. If I hear that this thing has been used to subjugate people, to hurt anybody, there is nowhere you can go. There's no power you can have that will keep me from coming and fucking killing you. Are we clear?"
He smiles. Says, very clear.
Could we hear that or no?
I'm not whispering. I'm making it very
Okay.
open.
She has a very high passive perception, so I'm gonna assume she heard it.
And
Best you, go ahead.
Porter sort of steps up and says, so, you still want that beer?
Yeah, I think that might be the right idea, so long as it's just with you.
He sort of looks to the wizards and they sort of both nod. He says, looks like I'm on break. Alright. And he kind of like walks with you to leave.
Are there other areas in here that we haven't checked out?
I will spare you the details and just say that there used to be, but I kind of condensed this whole dungeon, so you don't need to like just walk around and do shit.
Okay. Well, we still have some business to settle at the Frozen Rudder, so I say we get drinks there.
My favorite.
Do we still have rooms there?
We do. And last time I was in there, the captain said we've racked up a bit of a bill, so I think it would be good to settle it.
Porter laughs and says, I heard one time he billed a family for 4 years worth of rent because the guy died. Never checked out.
At least I know not to haggle with him then.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give him the island.
Yeah.
So are you guys just walking out?
Yeah. We
Okay.
already took everything off the witch's body.
Correct.
Is there anything significant about these other two sarcophaguses?
Nope. You can tell that they're like opened, and that there happened to have been probably like, I don't know, large guard-like creatures that may have been killed and then brought back to life and used to attack you earlier.
Nice.
Alexa, stop.
I'll say Missile can deduce that using his genius.
How flattering.
Okay. You guys leave, and as you leave, you exit out to the front and walk across the sort of broken bridge that stood the test of time. And as you get across to the Queen's Kirth, you see the Queen's Guard sort of standing there, and they go, "Hey, how'd it go?"
It went well. Shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Oh, that's good to hear. The undead stuff kind of stopped up here, so we were hoping for the best, but well, anyways. Good work. For the Queen.
Yes, for the Queen.
And yep, that's sort of how he awkwardly ends it. And you guys walk back to the Frozen Rudder. To experience the dopest song that Nicholas the Bard has ever played.
Missile's gonna. Missile's gonna plop himself at the table and just start working on prepping his infusions for the next day.
Taryn will join Missile at the table.
Marcus is also sitting at the table, and he would be reading his book, trying to find out any more information about what they just found.
Taryn would ask DeMarcus what he thinks they should do about the Lich's staff, or do with the Lich's staff.
Find a way to safely destroy it.
Seems rather wasteful. You'll hear quietly across the table.
We need to be more careful about making pacts with evil and trying to use evil powers to our advantage.
We need
This
to
is
be
often how
careful
evil thrives.
about raising our advantage. I see.
It's not an advantage to side with evil. How evil thrives. But tricking people who want to do good to do things that they otherwise wouldn't do.
Pretty sure Joe Hoff couldn't hear that from over at the bar, but I wish he had.
Taryn kind of shrugs and says, it doesn't seem as if it's too powerful an item anyway, so hopefully it shouldn't be that hard to get rid of.
Are we experts on leech artifacts? Do we even know the power by which the leech was operating?
Taryn just kind of shrugs and goes, the spell itself isn't that powerful, is all I was saying.
I understand. I don't know what we should do. I'm not wise enough about these kinds of things to understand with any confidence how we would pacify an artifact or stay safe from it or prevent it from somehow using us in the end. But it's our responsibility now to figure that kind of thing out.
I suppose we could just sell it.
I'd rather not.
All of you can get a short rest in, by the way, if you want.
Roughly what time of day is it?
It's a great question. You guys... You got in, talked to the guy, and then you left in the evening?
Yeah, we said it was like 4:32 or something
Yeah,
like that.
and then
when
you
we left.
went all the way across town to the place. I would say it's like 11 at night.
Alright, almost bedtime. Good.
Taryn's gonna claim the other staff, kind of, unless anyone has an objection.
It's all yours.
Sweet.
What was the other staff? Sorry guys, I wasn't here.
Oh, there were
In
two.
the chat, yeah.
Yeah. Might be
Um,
pretty far up with all these hit die.
I'm gonna wait till everybody finishes. And then... Oh, no, Mortimer's got it.
Look at Mortimer. Jeez.
He's
Google
listening.
Encyclopedia.
That's right.
Damn, he's good.
Is it a quarterstaff, John? I'm putting it in my character sheet.
Well, no, I think it's just a staff. So that, yeah, I mean, it hits for 1d4. I don't know.
Like a staff of withering type staff.
Yeah. That's at least what I'm basing it off here. I'm creating the item right now.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if you would want either of them. I also didn't have you discuss the loot with the wizards, which was kind of a mistake, but it's fine.
It's our loot.
I mean, they had a bunch of loot that they had kind of ransacked from the entire building, so it could have been like a issue of debate, like if you wanted to trade, but it's fine. They don't want an evil staff either.
Did we?
Didn't you say something, Kurt?
I asked if we found anything out about those wizards or that were trying to resurrect one another.
Oh, no, you didn't ask about that.
We did find out that the sarcophagus was an artifact of a deity called Vel Sharoon, who was an evil domain, but also kind of neutral necromancy god, and was very much into like the line between life and death kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Cool.
Anyway, I'm gonna ask the captain. You mentioned before that we still owe you a bit of gold for the rooms.
Yes.
I'm not sure if we will need them maybe another night or two, but I figured I would settle up what we have.
He sort of squints one eye and stares at you with the other and says, for you, I hear you destroy undead. I give you all the rooms for 100 gold.
Oh, wow, thank you. And she'll kind of gather it together and hand it over to him. It's very generous, thank you.
Yes, well, keep up the good work.
And she'll buy a round of drinks for Porter and Johoff and also the folks at the table.
A glass of milk for Missile would do just fine.
Correct. I'm just gonna put it in the ledger as more beer.
Okay, I added Threnody to the staves, but it's sort of just bare bones. I don't know how to really add like extra spells to it, so I'll let you figure that out, Stan. Okay.
Looks good.
Porter is sitting next to Johoff. He buys you a beer. And he says, well, that was one hell of an afternoon.
And Joff's gonna down the beer and then look at him and be like, "What the fuck are you doing with people like that? Thought you were better than that."
He looks back at your compatriots and says, I could say the same of you. Seems like we're on the same side, working for the same organization, more or less.
Yeah. Oh. Point taken. Point taken. But come on, you've got to recognize that thing in there is too dangerous.
Well, doesn't make anybody immortal. Whatever it does, you know, we can always undo it, like we did today.
So that's your plan, right? Just keep killing the things as some sort of mysterious wizard organization keeps turning them out.
Feel like that's oversimplifying what happened here today.
I ain't talking about today, I'm talking about in the future. We're giving this thing to this wizard alliance we don't know nothing the fuck about. And, you know, what are they gonna do with it? We have no fucking clue. They just tell us that it's gonna be protected.
He says, it's not for me to ask. And he sort of gestures to the gold pouch that he's got on him. Says, I'm here for the money.
What happened to you, hey? You actually used to give a fuck about something.
I saw enough people die for no reason. Realized that there isn't a point. All you can do is make money and try to just get by.
Yeah, well, it's a nice sob story, but you're not the only fucking person around here to lose people, right? So, pardon me if I'm not gonna break down in tears listening to it. We still have something we gotta do here. There's reasons to try to keep things out of people's hands if we don't know if they're gonna use it for the good of everybody.
And who would you give it to?
Nobody. I'd destroy it. Kind of shit doesn't need to exist.
And then he says, well, I'm not one to speak highly of divine magic, but it appears to me that the crowd you run with has power equal in strength to what we saw today, or soon will. Are you gonna kill Isolde the second she can cast that spell?
Joe kind of like stops and looks over at Isolde, and then looks back at Porter and goes, "The difference is she's not an artifact that can just fall into people's hands, right? She might be naive, I think maybe a little too naive sometimes, but deep down she's a good person. The artifact is neither good nor bad, it just depends on who's got their hands on it. And we're about to give it off to somebody we don't even fucking know who they is."
If you think that every human being of her type is immune to corruption, that makes you more naive than she is.
And if you don't see a difference between killing someone like Isolde, who has free will and can do what she pleases, and destroying a fucking artifact before it goes off into the hands of some mysterious organization, then you're not just naive, you're fucking moral.
He stands up, says, take care of yourself, Joe-Off, and he flips the bartender a coin and walks out.
Fucking shame. And Joff is gonna go back to drinking.
What's the topic of conversation around the table? I assume wherever we're going next.
I was curious about that. Have we done all we needed to do here in Laskin?
Well, yes and no. There are still so many unanswered questions that I would really like to get answers to. But Marin said something when we were talking today about how far afield we've gone from our mission, and we probably should have been up north looking for the artifact a week ago. So, I suppose, on all official accounts, we are very done with what we needed to do here.
Was there some sort of timetable that we had to keep to?
No, but it'll probably take us a long time to get up there and figure out what needs to be done as far as where the staff might be or how to get to Orathator's lair. And we never know who else is looking for it. Like the Alliance said, there's other people out for these same things, so it's probably better for us to put our own deadlines.
These answers you seek, is there someone you could go and ask? Here in Luskin?
It is not really those sort of answers. I'm mostly curious what happened to Benji and what will happen with the Queen. There is sort of so many things left hanging that if it turns out that there was, some sort of double agent situation going on and the Queen ends up no longer in power, that we will also lose control of the island. Because it is not technically hers to give to us anymore, so that feels like a loose end. Benji did offer to sell us the deed to the island.
There's no justice in this place. Might makes right here. The wizards have the island now. They'll have it as long as they can hold it.
I suppose that's true.
We can't get too.
You cut out, Garrett.
No, I said it's sad, but we do have much bigger things to worry about that won't just affect Luskin or the people here, but the wider continent, maybe even the world.
Yes, well, I assume that Marin and the Alliance have the resources to buy the deed if they need to. We just don't know where Benji is. And DeMarcus is right, to some degree. Having the wizards there will more or less make the island ours, but I'm not sure for how long. Or if we want to get into a power struggle in a town like this. I don't know. Those are the sorts of things that I've been thinking about. Maybe to avoid thoughts of going north, but it is what it is.
Well, are you worried for the people, or are you, like you said, avoiding our next destination?
Oh, both, I think. but I think if I were to try to control what was going on in Luskin, we would probably never leave. This place is like, I don't know, just flowing water. I think it changes all the time.
Well, we may have to make ourselves like the things that float on top of the river and just follow the current to our next place to be. Unless there's something pressing that you need to take care of. I don't know. Maybe that's what we would have to do.
I think that's probably quite literally what we have to do. I have to speak to Darrenden's brother and see when passage leaves to Fire Shear so we can start our journey.
We've secured the island, secured the portal. This was our mission. There's nothing left for us here.
Yes, nothing left but some rest, I suppose. And Missile will down his glass of milk, and with a milk mustache, all over his real mustache, he'll bid you all good night. And maybe just hop over the table, I guess, and get out of here. There we go.
No walking on the tables.
He'll duck low beneath the counter so you don't see him.
I see you.
Sneaky.
It's
Run,
like
Morty!
the one rule in this place. He takes it very seriously.
He could have just asked. We would have let him out.
Alright. Missile's gonna take... Well, I'll wait for the long rest, but Missile's gotta get up early to infuse some things.
Got it.
Do you think it is too late at night to go and inquire about Ironblood and the passage north? I'm sure someone in the Mirbar district knows the ship's schedule.
Well, the captain may have more of a lead than any of us.
Should you wish to make such inquiries, I will accompany you, Captain.
I would
That's the
appreciate that.
advantage of doing it tonight rather than tomorrow. It's dangerous at night here.
I suppose that's true.
Sweet.
I guess I just fancied a walk, but I guess our last late night walk didn't go very well for us.
I'm down for a walk.
She's gonna get up and go to the bar. And, are you alright, Joff?
Maybe a fucking loaded question.
Yes, well, I figured I would risk asking it.
Look, I don't know how to say this, but I think after we get up into Icewind Dale, I think the time may have come for me to go my own way.
I could, understand that based on, you not knowing the full picture when you came with us, anyway. Sorry to hear it, though.
Yeah, well, there's I don't want to get into the full thing of it, right? But yeah, I gotta do right by
Willem and myself, I suppose, and I just can't have this on my conscience. You know, I've come to really care for you guys. I love you each, but I can't sit by and watch us basically hand the world on a platter to some giant fucking mysterious organization. I fucking can't. So, you know, I've come this far. I'd like to see the north. And I know it's dangerous up there, so you could use punching hands. But, you know, I think after that, for the sake of my soul, whatever the fuck it is I got, I can't stay.
Well, I'm glad you've come with us this far, and that you are going to continue on with us. At least till we get up north. We certainly do need you. I don't think anyone in this group could deny that. Not only for your strength, but also for your wisdom. You remind us of things that I think we often forget, or we're maybe never aware of, in my case. So, I will be very sad to see you go. I will feel a little bit less wise without you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd call it wisdom so much as, you know, some smarts learned from some hard knocks, but wisdom does no benefit when it's not listened to.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Well, I hope that we are able to talk about some of these things while we are journeying together. I would at least like to understand your perspective a bit more, since it is so foreign to my own. If you don't mind the conversation, of course.
Yeah, well, we got a long trip, right? It'd be pretty
Quite.
ridiculous of me to just play him up the whole time. You know, I don't know what's coming next, but I'm gonna miss the fuck out of you guys. I don't want you thinking that this is because I don't care. You know, I had Big Pete. He was like a kind of father figure to me, but deep down, he was always my employer first, I suppose, on some level. I haven't, oh, fuck, I'm not good at this. I haven't, had anything like a family like this for, well, it's been a long time. So, yeah, well, anyway. I just thought you should probably know what my intentions was, so it didn't come as a shock down the road.
She kind of smiles at him. I appreciate that, and I hope that you take time during the journey to talk to the others as well. I know that some of them are quite close with you.
Yeah, I'll make my rounds, I suppose.
Isolde, out of the corner of your eye, you notice somebody staring at you. All the way to the top left here. And it's a sort of portly looking fellow in kind of ragged clothes with an eye patch. And once you catch sight of him, he lifts his eye patch and winks at you with his other eye.
Nice. Joaf, I've just spotted someone that I really need to speak to, and I hope you don't take it as any sign of disrespect if I say I will buy you a beer and we can continue talking another time.
Yeah, sure, it's fine. Go ahead.
And she'll just kind of like pass by him and walk up this way. Oop, I collided with a wall?
Don't do that.
I gotta take my time. Can't
Good
be
job.
running into walls. So drunk. There you go.
And as you step into the booth, you recognize this fellow as Benji. And he says, well, I was wondering when you'd spot me.
Well, you had quite a good disguise there.
Smoke and mirrors.
So you've said before. Isn't it a bit risky for you to be here?
Indeed, yes.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened? Why did you attack the Kingsport?
I didn't attack the Kingsport. That's all a story made up by the Queen.
So those were none of your men?
Of course not. The Queen's men in disguise.
Interesting.
It was my fleet, unfortunately, which she commandeered, and my flags, which she paraded as she sunk my ships.
I was pretty afraid that you were in league with her for a second there when you said it was all a trick.
No, never. Benji
Seemed like
has
a play you were
honor.
putting on together. Honor.
No, Benji is putting on a play, but not one with the Queen.
I see. And what is the end goal of this play?
Dominance, of course. What's the end goal of anything?
You're probably going to have a harder time of it now.
No. She's exactly where we want her.
When you say we, you mean the Obsidian Tide?
Not quite. Are you, familiar with the Lord's Alliance?
The Lord's Alliance? No.
Have you heard of Neverwinter, Waterdeep, Silvery Moon?
In passing? Yes, of course.
Yes, well, they're all unified under something called the Lord's Alliance. And, they seek to unify Luskin in it as well.
Sounds quite ambitious.
Yes, the, only thing in the way is the independent rule of one Queen of Luskin.
Hmm. And are there other cities that the Alliance is interested in?
Oh, well, the Alliance is always looking to expand, but, not quite.
So what's next?
Well, Luskin for now, and, the rest of that is for me to know, and, me to only tell you in, dire circumstances. And he pulls out a piece of paper and slides it across the table.
What does it say?
It says, deed to the island of the Host Tower and ruins of Alesk. He said, and you see written on it that it is from 400 years ago that it was written, and that it is signed in the name of the Lord's Alliance.
I'm afraid I don't have the sort of gold you wanted.
He sort of reaches back across the table and grabs the piece of paper and says, "Very well. You have two options. I could take a lesser payment now and full payment upon your return, assuming you're leaving." He sort of looks at you, sort of looks at your group. Says, "Or," and he sort of leans in, "you could be the one to kill the queen."
I think you overestimate me.
Nonsense! I know what you did with the king. It's not a secret among those who know.
Well, I am quite glad that there is some opposition to the queen left, but I'm afraid that we are on our way out of town.
Very well. And he grabs the paper and puts it in a pouch and stands up. Says, "Until we meet again."
One thing, if it does happen that you do gain control, I do have colleagues that would be willing to pay full price for that deed. So,
He looks at you and smiles and says, "Well, there might be others interested in that by that time. It's sort of a get in on the ground floor situation."
I see. Well, I'm sorry it couldn't work out then.
As am I. And you see him sort of don the disguise again in real time. And he starts walking away. But
Yeah, I'll wait for him to walk far enough before I get up.
and he, like, as he's walking away, he clearly walks next to a guy that he is an identical duplicate of, who looks up at him, and he walks with, like, grace and poise, which looks very strange for a gruff-looking sailor. And then he leaves.
I just had a interesting conversation. Do you mind joining us back in the booth for a second, Johoff?
Yeah, right.
Damn it, I'm colliding with walls again. How?
Focus hail.
So once we're all gathered together, she'll kind of like lean in across the table and say, "I just spoke to Benji. He was here, but in disguise. He offered me the deed again, but of course, I mean, we have the money for it, but it is very expensive. And I don't know, it seemed very much like the sort of thing that Jooff has been trying to warn us against. He said that he is part of an alliance of different cities looking to expand power to other cities. And, well, I made the decision not to purchase the deed from him. I didn't really think it was appropriate to add any additional funds to that pursuit.
truly believe that the deed is irrelevant. So is Benji.
I think you're right. I was
What
glad.
was the organization, though?
It was something called the Lords Alliance of like Neverwinter and Silvery Moon.
Yeah, if anybody wants to history check that, you can. Nope.
I will. Hold on. My computer went to sleep.
Went to sleep?
I'm here. Sorry, John. I'll be there in a second.
Man, where's Missile when you need him? Snoozing away upstairs. Not making
Is
history
this something?
checks.
Has the Lord's Alliance existed for like 1,500 years?
No. It's not that old.
I didn't think so, but thought I'd ask.
Just out of curiosity.
I do like the idea, though, that, like, maybe Damon needs to start reading a bunch of history books to, like, catch up.
Yeah.
Start borrowing from Missile.
So
Oh, yeah, wait for that.
Yeah, you guys are fucked for that missile. Yeah, Bosner, you've heard maybe of such a thing, but it's mostly, like, kind of rumors.
Good
I mean,
rumors,
this
bad
is
rumors.
pretty far away from where we all grew up. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just, like, some sort of secret organization uniting various major cities. Not good nor bad, but, I guess I would say more towards good than bad, but it's still a little bit, like, just politics.
Whatever it is, if it were truly relevant to our task, Marin probably would have told us.
Yeah, I figure we can, if it adds complications, we can figure it out when we get back.
I think
The
so
what?
as well.
It told us right? It sounds like the kind of thing that Joe Hoff is wisely warning us against.
What was the cost of this deed?
Same
Was it
as you
just
wanted
gold or-
before. Yes,
Yeah.
10,000 gold. Which,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well-
If it's anything we need.
If we end up defeating an old white dragon, that may become an irrelevant sum of money to us, and we can just buy
Perhaps.
it when we get back.
yes, I mentioned also that if he did happen to come into power, that, colleagues of ours would, of course, people from the Alliance or the Guild would buy the island, but
Yeah, at this point, if he really wants to press the deed issue so much and contest the property rights of the island, he can just take it up with the people who are there right now. I don't see us in this equation anymore.
yeah, agreed. So, anyway, that's, kind of the main loose thread that I was worried about. Seems a bit more settled now. So I think we should be on our way as soon as possible. We should go to the Mir Barbet district in the morning and see about hopping a ship.
Yeah. I feel like in the future we need to be a little bit more discerning, otherwise we'll find ourselves in terrible situations. I think this time it worked out, but I don't know. I think we may have gotten too close to something here.
Too invested in the town, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be different if we had zero attachments to like a larger mission, but I don't know. We could have been just used as a scapegoat and killed off.
True.
I agree. We perhaps came somewhat far afield here, but the King of Luskan is dead, and I am glad he's dead.
And we've secured what we needed for now, so if we have to redo some of it when we get back, so be it. But I don't know if our commitments around here were anything outside of the mission. Like, we needed to secure the island, and we did what we needed to do.
I agree. Speaking of being killed off, before we leave, I should give the Queen's father's journal to her. It's a sign of good faith. She'll know that he had one. She'll know that somebody took it. She probably already suspects that we have it. Don't need it anymore either. There's no interesting information in it.
I need like a 5-minute break, but you guys can keep talking if you'd like.
Okay.
I think I should go to her tomorrow before we leave and give it to her. Ask for forgiveness for taking it and concealing it, but I think I can explain why I did it fairly enough and there shouldn't be any trouble.
Seems like a bit less of a risk to give it back to her now that the Lich is dead. So it's not like she will go looking for this unnamed master anyway.
Her pride may be wounded, but that's dangerous enough, but I don't think that there's any more danger to it than that.
If you would like, I can accompany you on this task, DeMarcus.
Not to be a damper on this, but what does that give us? Like, why not just burn it and move on and say it got lost in the scuffle, like, if she doesn't ask?
I think that it could get us political capital with her, which is important with these people. She knows we took treasure. She knows we were in the room.
Taryn will kind of nod and kind of look at Johoff and then back at DeMarcus and then kind of shrug and go back to his beer.
You are generally the expert of these things, DeMarcus. I trust your judgment.
Tell her the truth. It won't take much deception at all, if any. I didn't give it to her because I was afraid that her wounded pride and her fear that I found out some secret information in it would threaten her or endanger her, so I didn't give it to her when we gave her the rest of the treasure hoard because we were in an incredibly vulnerable position. I didn't let any other members in my group read it because I didn't want them to take on the same risks that I had in reading what could be potentially sensitive information. I held it on the boat when we gave her the rest of the hoard because she could have killed us all right there on the spot.
Seems fair.
It's not true anymore, so she can have it.
Well then, I suppose that's another thing to take care of in the morning.
Is it crazy late right now? Like at
It's
night?
like 11:30
Oh,
going
okay.
on midnight, I think. Yeah, not crazy late.
Yeah.
Too late for old gnomes.
And he had a lot of warm milk, so he didn't stand a chance.
I love that, like, he has this, like, crazy, like, pact-ish kind of thing going on, but, like, warm milk just, like, crushing it.
So we know how to put him down in the future.
Yeah.
Wow. He'll draw first, my
It's
friend.
calm down and drink some milk. You're not yourself.
I'm sure that'll soothe him even when he's fully controlled and possessed.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking
Alright, I'm back. Oh shit, look at that.
This
Whoa,
ain't works.
whoa,
about.
whoa.
Taryn blows up the bar.
Roll initiative! Here we go!
He really didn't
That's
like your plan,
excellent.
DeMarcus.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure it works since we were kind of done.
You're just
for...
checking for my invisible tokens. That's what you're doing.
Yep. So
Sweet.
who's rolling?
Hadariel's been
as
here the whole time.
You got that put together quick. That's dope.
If you want to get rid of that like white text, if you select all of it and hit there's like a little T button for formatting, it will make it normal.
Okay, cool.
So, John, I'm gonna give the Pirate King's Journal to the Queen tomorrow. If you want to roleplay it, that's fine. I don't really have any special angle I'm trying to accomplish here as Demarcus. I'm literally just trying to give it to her as a show of good faith and honesty because I suspect that she thinks we have it anyway.
So here's the thing that you know. You know that the Queen is not in port yet, and that you guys got back faster than she did, because she had shit to do on the island. So you're not even sure if she's in town, but you could leave it with somebody, and that'd be fine.
Yeah, if I may go there anyway, I mean, especially if we're gonna leave like post haste, like right away, which it kind of sounds like we are. Yeah, I would probably leave it with somebody who I knew was her like close, confident. Not, it seems like a couple of those people I'd be able to recognize who are like her inner circle types.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool.
I'll just say abstractly, that's what happens. You approach, and one of her like lieutenants takes the book and puts it in her office.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll just kind of say that that's what happens tomorrow. We're still at like 11
I
PM
suppose,
here.
yeah. Okay, so it is the evening. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about still?
I think Izzy's pretty wrapped up. She'd probably finish her beer and go to bed. Keep an eye on Missile.
Yeah, Taryn will crash too after nuking the bar.
Yeah, after fucking almost killing the
my
captain.
work here is done.
Just fishing to see what their HP is like. I get it.
You gotta figure these things out. You know?
You're like, all right.
As long as you're not walking on any tables, I don't see what the problem is.
Right, the real travesty.
That would kill us all.
Let's see. So is Joe Hoff still at the table here? Oh, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm back. He is. He's gonna get up and head over to the bar, I think.
Okay.
And we'll probably stay up for a while, drinking.
All right. Yeah, as I get up and kind of make to go to bed, I would stop next to Joe Hoff, and I would just kind of like lean on the bar, not yet sitting down. Like it seems like I'm clearly like about to go to bed here, and I would say, still in trouble believing in the gods.
Hey, yeah, well, I mean, to be clear, the issue was never believing that they exist. The issue was believing that they give a flying fuck.
Well, it seems like they care about you now. What do you make of that?
You're talking about the hammer.
That's the hammer, Joe Hoff.
What makes you think this has anything to do with the gods?
He looks at you and smiles. Just says, "You're a stubborn fuck."
Yeah, well, that's part of my charm, ain't it?
Even if you started to believe that the gods cared about us, it would probably take you years to actually admit it to me. When you do, you owe me a drink. And he walks away and he goes to bed. If you had anything you wanted to say, though, that's cool.
Joe Off's just gonna kind of grunt and go back to drinking. Because he can't argue with any of that. That's spot on. Some really spot on character understanding of what Joe Off's going through. So yeah, he's not gonna.
All right. So, Joe Hoff engages in a long night of drinking with the captain, who is just completely silent the whole time. Like, they just have a silent night of standing next to each other. And then...
partway through, Joe Hoff will hand him a coin and gesture for him to fill up 2 shots, one for him and one for the captain.
And the Captain says, "Well, no, I don't drink. It's terrible for you."
At that point, Johoff will get up and go to bed.
Do you just leave the shots on the table?
Yeah, so Johoff will like walk partway over to heading up to the bed, then turn back, come back to the bar, down both shots, and then turn around and walk back to his bedroom.
It's bad for your liver. And he goes back to cleaning glasses. And yeah, that you guys can feel free to take a long rest. And lose a point of exhaustion. You're in nice, comfy beds in a very warm room. And let's sort of move through the morning. DeMarcus heads off to return that book. What are the rest of... What's everybody else doing?
Missile's gonna create some infusions at some point, but...
Okay, yeah. We'll just have him do the tinkering. What's the shit that Missile's doing now?
So Missile's got a bunch. So he'll wake up and like set out all of his items around him. He's got a neutral cloak, a ring, his dirty, filthy goggles, and a pair of boots. And he'll go by and touch each one by one, to infuse it. And so the first thing he's going to get is this. He's going to touch the cloak. I haven't figured out how to program this. I'm not sure if I can, but we don't need to worry about it. And so he's going to reweave the cloak so that it looks like it's made out of chainmail, but it like flows lightly in the air. So it's like really lightweight chainmail.
So it's is this still a cloak of protection though?
Yeah.
Okay, so what were your previous infusions so that we remove them?
I had my Hat of Wizardry, which I'm just going to ditch. My Smoldering Breastplate, which I'm just going to ditch. And then I think...
Wait, the Smoldering Breastplate, didn't you own that? That wasn't an infusion.
I think I gave it cold resistance, so it was infused. So the Hat of Wizardry, the Smoldering Breastplate, and then I think one of the squad had...
+1 AC.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think it was DeMarcus.
That sounds right.
So, I will remove that from DeMarcus.
Okay. So, the ring looks like it's made out of cast iron dipped in motor oil. And then he's going to polish his goggles so that they're like so clean it's almost glaring when you look at them, and they almost, or they will seem to be like resistant to getting dirty. Like they just stay impeccably clean, which is unusual for Missile. And so he's going to don the cloak, put the ring on, and put his goggles back on, and then he's going to touch the boots and offer it to the group. If you look on the back, you'll see little tiny fans that allow them to do what it is that they do. But this is for whoever in the group wants to fly around.
That's dope.
That's pretty impressive.
And then does a 14 wisdom saving throw save or fail? Just for that thing.
Oh, winged boots are in the inventory. You can create it. You can...
Oh.
Like they're in the items.
Okay. Well, whoever wants to fly around, feel
but
free
make
to
sure you mark that they're, an infusion. So just drag the item and then put in parentheses infusion so that we don't start creating static magic items.
Yeah.
And then make sure you keep a note of all of the infusions you're running, and make sure you delete any ones you've got remainder so that we don't have a bunch of random shit.
These should be the only 4 that we have going here, so...
Okay. Yeah, everybody feel free to check your inventory to make sure you don't have any random buffs still activated. And infusions is probably smart to check. I think everybody else is good. This little looks good. Effects.
Threnody is attunement, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Oh, is that a problem?
I mean, no. I'll just have to figure out what I have to unattune, but
Got it.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't, like, limiting myself for no reason.
Sure.
I can keep the boots in my bag if we're not sure who wants them yet.
Yeah, I figured a melee person would jump on those as soon as you offered them.
Yeah,
I kinda wanna
I'd
see
really
Damon
like to
one
see
there.
DeMarcus or Damon with him.
Yeah, that would be the two prime candidates. The sorority boys.
Yeah.
For the...
Be like a fucking angel of vengeance if DeMarcus could fly.
I cast Smite from above.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you literally just fly over things and smite them.
And then does 14 Wisdom save pass?
For what? Sorry?
From the previous night, my nightly Wisdom save?
Oh, no.
Okay. Among the touching of things to infuse them, Missile's gonna sneak one of these.
Lesser Restoration snucked. That's the
And then
right
that's
term.
it.
If Demarcus is here when all this is happening, I would wait to see if he wanted them. But if he's off giving the diary away, I would probably just thank Missile for the boots and then put them on.
A perfect fit.
Yeah, DeMarcus would probably just want you to have him anyway. He's not really, he just got a bunch of stuff, so he's pretty good.
How's Damon doing on attunement slots?
I think I just have the greatsword and the cloak of protection.
You do have a ring of water walking. I'm not sure if you're actually using it though.
Don't you have
I don't think the ring of water walking is attunement.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. That's
Didn't
weird.
we give you the ring of protection too?
I don't think so.
Or who did
No,
we give that to? Oh, maybe to Marcus then.
Yeah, I got the ring of protection.
Okay, cool.
So I can walk on water and air now. That's pretty
Yikes.
You get from the fact that they fit you perfectly that Misso is kind of planning on you getting them all along.
Did we learn nothing from Damon being charmed? Now he can fly?
Let's let bygones be bygones.
No, but we did learn something from Damon being carried away with a rock, which is that this wouldn't be a problem if he could fly. Now he can.
That's excellent.
We're always fighting like 3 battles in the past.
Isolde's morning task was to go figure out the shipping schedule.
Who are you asking for that?
She would probably go to the bar that Darrington brought us to.
Sure. Let me
And ask the
dig
barkeep
that up.
there. What was it called? Like the Red Dragon or...
Yeah, I think so. Let me pull it up. Doodle-doo. It was called the Red Dragon Trading Post. And I will... Let's see. Who's still alive here? Alright. Okay. I'll just put all of you in this scene, but not necessarily all of you here. And, yeah. You sort of... Whoever... I guess who's with Isolde?
Karen will go ahead and accompany her.
Show off will go.
Okay. Alright, so at least the 3 of you are there. And you walk in and you notice that the place is relatively empty of dwarves. And the deal maker sort of like looks up from the counter and sort of like kind of looks at you like, yes.
Sorry, I was looking for Darrington Ironblood or his brother. We are looking to get passage up to Fireshear.
She says, "That's pretty good timing. Darrington's brother. He'll be in here today."
Oh, great. Did you know what time?
Actually, any minute now. Are you looking to head up to Fireshear?
Yes, the sooner the better, I think.
Well, I'm sure he'd be willing to arrange it. Things have been, well, kind of strange around here.
Yes, we haven't been here very long, but it seems like a very busy sort of city. Lots of
She
things.
gestures around. Well, less busy than it was. Nevertheless, do you need anything else? You can wait here if you'd like.
Yes, if
What
you don't
happened?
mind.
If you don't mind us asking.
Well, the queen took over, which meant she killed as many of the rival factions as she could, all sort of in one sweeping move.
Yeah, Izzy's gonna just kind of like glance over at Taryn, like, no follow-up questions.
Taryn will just kind of nod and not ask any follow-up questions.
You've got a few minutes for one of them tattoos he was talking about.
Just a regular one?
Yeah, nothing big, just regular.
Yeah, sure, if you got the gold.
What you charging?
I forget what we said before, do you remember?
No idea. That was a
All right.
bunch of sessions ago.
I'll say for like just a mundane tattoo, 15 gold.
Joe looked at Isolde as like asking if this is okay.
Oh, yeah. And she'll give him whatever he wants.
Okay, so Joe's gonna get the words "Stay down" tattooed across his knuckles.
Alright, she's going to do a performance check to see how well. I'll say sleight of hand. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good looking tattoo. Very legible.
Yeah. Joe will actually tip her an extra 5 gold.
Alright. Mark down, what was that, negative 15 gold? I already forgot.
It'd be 20 with the tip.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll put that on our ledger.
Thanks much, Isolde.
Of course. I mean, you have a right to your portion of everything we have.
Yeah, well, I don't need that much, but it'd be nice, something to remember Luskin by.
I've got to say, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's not so bad, ain't it?
And as you guys are chit-chatting, this fellow walks in the room and goes up to the deal maker and starts having a conversation. And it looks like the older brother of Darrington Ironblood. And you see them sort of chit-chatting back and forth, and then she sort of points over to your table. And he looks confused, but he walks over and he says, hello there.
Oh, nice to meet you. We are, kind of associates of your brother. And, we're hoping to get a passage up to Fireshear.
Oh, well, he tells me that you brought him some cheese. Did you bring me any cheese?
I did not, but to be fair, I did not know that I was bringing him cheese either. It was a gift from someone else that we were just transporting.
Oh, you didn't sneak a peek?
I did not. I was instructed not to.
Oh, trustworthy folk. That's rare for the adventuring type, no offense.
No offense taken. It's quite a compliment to be trustworthy.
He sort of squints at you and says, "Hey, do I know you? You look familiar."
Well, it's very possible that I've been on one of your ships before, if you are one of the only people going between here and Fireshear.
Oh, well, there's a couple of us, but, I mean, there's a chance, but I feel like I would have remembered you if you paid, your way across the sea. I usually chit-chat, with the, folks I'm taking with me.
Well, must have been a different ship then. But I'm sure there are plenty of folks that look like me up there. It is the main way in and out of 10 towns.
That's very true. I didn't want to say anything, but, all you northerners kind of look alike to me.
Well, we do get matching tattoos, so...
Yeah, I suppose that, that might make it complicated. Okay, well, what are you looking for? You're just trying to get up north again, or...?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, it's Fireshear okay? That's basically my normal route.
I mean, we're trying to get all the way to 10 towns. I don't know if you could arrange us passage on a caravan from Fireshear inland.
He sort of winces when you say that. He says, "Oh, geez, I wouldn't go up there right now. It's the heart of winter, and gosh, more things than cold weather are going wrong up there."
Well, it is my hometown, so I'm not very worried about the weather. But I'm quite worried about the rumors that I've heard about what is going on in 10 towns. What do you know?
Well, the leader up there seems to have things under control, more or less. He's been kind of kicking out sort of rebellious types from the city, sort of on lockdown, if you will. I'm not entirely sure you'll be able to make it through the gates.
Rebellious types.
Oh, barbarians.
Right.
They've been sacking all the 10 towns.
What tribes, do you know?
Oh, well, not to sound insensitive, but I was of the impression that all barbarians were sort of the same.
Most people think that way, but not entirely true. Anyway, we are not really looking to avoid that trouble, as we are looking to see what we can do.
You're going up there to help deal with the barbarians, huh?
Something like that.
Oof, well, I don't envy you. I hear they're pretty brutal.
She looks like her jaw is just grit as hard as she possibly can.
Yeah, well, very well. I can get you to Fireshear, and you can sort of make your own path from there. There are people there who might be inclined to take you up via the northern coastway, but those waters are, well, they're treacherous.
It's the sort of thing that we could sort out once we get closer to Fireshear, or we have to arrange ahead of time?
Oh, no, you could figure it out in Fireshear. You could supply up there and sort of make your own path. Could put you in contact with a few people.
Alright, and when would your ship be leaving, and how much is passage for 7?
Well, it's a mighty fine question. He sort of like eyeballs all of you. Says, well, how about 70 gold for the trip?
Quite reasonable.
Yeah, well, there's not much traffic going on right now, and my normal freight has been lessened by the political situation here. So, plus, if Darrenden's stories are true, you can hold your own in a fight, which means I can leave back some of the troops.
Yes, we're quite capable.
Good, good.
So, when and where should we meet?
I don't know. What's your guys' schedule look like? I'm pretty open.
We are open as well.
Excellent. Well, if you want to leave tonight, we can leave tonight or tomorrow.
Tonight would be best, or would be better for us. Just no reason to pay for another night at that inn.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys decide that. I'll just be here having a pint.
Appreciate it. It's nice to meet you, Celeron.
Oh, you too. Nameless folk I don't know.
Well, your brother gave it to me a while back.
Hey, Winks.
And, yeah. She will return to the Frozen Rudder, I guess, to let everyone know what the deal is.
Okay. I will activate that map.
In the meantime, while that's happening, Vosner will be out, doing his morning meditation, and then try and find a place where there's maybe something living.
Yeah, there's shit living in Luskin.
Okay, that's good. So, he's gonna go out, find something living, and get sort of in a meditative headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And then attempt to cast, what is it? And reach out to the moon goddess and cast augury. So it just has like it takes out this. It looks like a piece of pine, almost like an unfinished arrow shaft, and some stones. And he puts it. He sort of makes a little circle in front of him. He'll whisper, beseeching the spirit in Druidic, out, and asks these questions. So he'll ask if there is a danger of the Shadowfell in their future. Or what? Oh, well, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Okay.
It wants a specific course of action.
Yeah. So.
He would say, would heading north help us against the Shadowfell?
Huh. Okay. So. You receive an omen about the result of a specific course of action. That you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. I would say you get a nothing result in that you feel like when you reach out, your thought is heard, but it's sort of like needs more information response or a it's too complicated to sort of address this question response.
Yeah. So, even though the question or the answer wasn't terribly favorable, Vosner feels at least a little bit more comforted that this
Here's
this being a thing.
the interesting thing that happens, though. When you ask it and you reach out to the moon goddess, your mind is sort of filled with a bunch of images as you sort of go into this trance. And although it's sort of cloudy and you're not able to make a definitive answer out of it, there's a curious moment where you see the face of the young girl that you saved in that cave, and her very bright, luminescent eyes kind of stare back at you, and then you break from your trance.
That was interesting. Vosner feels very, I don't know, comforted by that he's met the moon goddess, and that it's either that girl or is connected to that girl. So I guess he's kind of hopeful that he'll run into them again. But yeah, he's after that he'll kind of gather his things, put them back into the little pouch that he has, and head back to the inn.
Cool. And what's going on back at the inn? I guess Laurel's AFK. So it's Damon. What's Taryn doing?
Who all's at the inn right now?
I'd say everybody meets back up.
Alright, he would probably, kind of seeing that we're just kind of like wasting the day, go up to Missile. And ask or say something like, so you're planning on finding a way to transfer your consciousness back into a construct, right?
That is the idea.
How would that work? Would you like die and transfer your soul when your body died? Or how would you keep your soul from moving on when you took it out of your body? Like, what is that? What's the process there?
To be sure, I'm not sure I know the answer to that myself. I just assume that if there's a will, there's a way. I'm still looking into this quite a bit, Taryn. I'm not quite sure if it's possible, but it is the intention.
Missile, you hear in your head. Of course it's possible. Don't bother explaining it to these idiots.
He says nothing.
Do you know what the normal process is for when a body dies? Like how it normally moves on? If you're planning on interrupting it?
My understanding is that there's a choice, is there not? To move on or dwell here? At least that's my understanding from all of this cleric and paladin talk.
DeMarcus here right now?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. DeMarcus looks at Missile and says, not entirely your choice, Missile. God wants to reward you or punish you and pull you into another realm after you die. There's absolutely nothing you can do.
I suppose I should ingratiate myself to whichever god it is that could put me into a construct.
Good luck.
Is Demarcus gonna look up that god for him in the book?
No, Demarcus already has a bunch of ideas, and he's already decided what his entire stance on this issue is.
Master Missile, this idea is, of course, intriguing, especially to myself, but tell me, have you ever yourself looked into, for instance, the process of becoming a lich?
That feels unsanitary.
Would be consistent with your goals.
My goals are simply to be able to read for as long as possible. Not conjure witches and cast spells and such.
Well,
Yes.
One might be means to the end.
Have you seen a lich with a book before?
I believe liches read, Missile. Is that your question?
I've not seen a lich read.
Damn spellbooks.
Well, they find out to wield so much power.
I confess I do not know much myself about liches, but, to your point, I have seen relatively few constructs with books before. I just wonder, we have recently seen varying kinds of entities whose souls can dwell outside their bodies. Why is this different from what you intend, other than perhaps that the external dwelling would be ambulatory and sensitive?
Flesh is frail and can decompose and can suffer wounds, but metal, oil, and electricity, those are durable, stable, and enduring. As a matter of material composition, I just assume that a construct would be the most efficient way for me to reach my goals.
I confess I remain somewhat unconvinced, though I do not mean to equate you with the things we have seen in the past weeks.
Do you ever think that knowledge can exist in places other than books, Missile?
I suppose, but it's easiest to acquire knowledge by reading. The bandwidth of incoming information through the eyes from the text of a book is, well, far and superior to any sort of lived experience that I've ever had. I've learned more in 1 hour of reading than I have in 10 hours of teaching and research, adventuring.
You know nothing about the amounts of knowledge that exist in other realms?
Other
that
realms
go
don't
to
interest me.
actually that?
I'm not interested in those realms.
Why not? There's more knowledge there.
Bah, but it's not to do with this world. It's to do with possible worlds, which as far as I'm concerned are unreal. I like what is concrete, not ethereal, nebulous, and abstract.
As Missile says that, Damon, in your head, a scene of a world full of gears flashes before your mind, sort of unprovoked and unexpected, and then fades as soon as it came.
Master Missile, you are intelligent beyond anything else I have ever known. But I believe that there is perhaps more to these external words than you perhaps give credit for.
I'd have to agree. I've been there, probably not of my own will, and our captain as well. There's a lot to learn, even apart from this plane.
And must I go to these places to acquire this knowledge?
Well,
Is their source? The source of this knowledge is those places.
Surely
It
somebody's
seems
written
like-
about such things.
It seems like you'll have less control over which of those places you can go if you let yourself die, though. Like, do you really get to choose which realm you go to learn knowledge?
By making certain actions every second of every day in this life.
I suppose what most puzzles me is this insistence that we're not in control of our own souls. To be sure, we're in control of our souls here, now, and I see no reason why this should change.
What you do with your soul here and now, you'll be judged for then.
Well, even beyond that, maybe because there are so few books, maybe you'll have to go there and write the books yourselves.
Perhaps. I wonder if the solution is, rather than to have this physical body die, perhaps to augment it technologically, so that I truly never die. Some sort of construct gnome hybrid. Yes, this is quite intriguing, and he'll start writing notes now.
Vosner can't escape the image of a 6-foot gnome with like light. You know, can't shake it from his mind.
Chainsaw arms.
Have you seen RoboCop? It's like that.
Just golem legs.
I must ask Terran and Damon and DeMarcus and Vosner, why this sudden curiosity and eternality and living as a construct?
Terran
Go ahead.
kind of
Go ahead,
gives him
Terran.
like he kind of gives him a look like, "Do you really have to ask?" type of thing.
I repeat.
Yeah. in Missile's head, he hears, he sold his soul to a devil. Of course he doesn't want to die.
Oh, right. I suppose that's true. So many details in these other affairs, it's easy to lose track. And then he'll, realize that he's been talking to himself. And shut up.
Part of the reason is, well, we just want to get to know you, and don't know why you've been talking to yourself over the past couple weeks. It's been quite concerning to us.
Well, it helps me think. And to be sure, what you call praying, and well, I'm not quite sure I see the difference.
Insight check.
Yeah, I guess you could insight check him. And Missile, you can roll deception.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know if I'm trying to deceive.
Yeah, I mean, you are... Yeah, I guess. It's really up to you. Does Vosner beat the insight?
I mean, he's not really talking to himself.
What? Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
That's true.
Damn.
Oh, fuck. I'll say with
Well.
that, Vosner, you can tell that Missile is sort of not truly asking that question.
Well, whatever it is that you're talking to, yeah, I understand. It's something a little bigger than yourself or beyond yourself. Kind of gets you through things, or at least in your case, just trying to search for words helps you with your studies to be a construct dome. And again, the 6-foot tall gnome with the gangly wiry on it pops into his mind, and there's a visible shudder.
Yes, well, our goals and aspirations are truly what carries us forward. Life is lived forward, but understood backwards, I always say.
Vosner's eyes gloss over. He has no idea what you're talking about.
It's like Kierkegaard. Alright, never mind.
Oh, me,
Uh,
the player, knows the quote.
Oh,
Vosner's
God.
like, what?
Your character's too smart to quote Kierkegaard.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh,
Ouch.
damn. Oh, damn.
Language is the house of being, you know.
Damn.
You hear in your head, yes, the nothing does nuff.
What the devil do you mean by Dasein?
Please be haunted by Kierkegaard next.
I'm suddenly sick and tired and no longer wish to wed.
No longer wish to wed. That's great.
Okay, sort of metagame stuff. Are you guys gonna sell things and buy things? I forgot where we left off with that.
I think we did that last session.
Great job. I forgot all about it.
If we have like a day now before we're leaving, and we're just headed to some frozen north, Damon might want to look for any like spells or anything he can learn in Luskin before being away from a bigger city like this.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I had sort of forgot about it, that the Lich and the Wizard would have had spell books that you could have at least perused. Though, since you just like snatched the staffs and didn't even talk to the wizards about them, I'm just gonna say the wizards took the spell books and you took the staffs, just to be sort of even Steven on it. But yeah, if you want, I'll just say within reason. I mean, I guess what spells are you looking for?
I don't have any actual like 4th level spells, so there's just like a few I've been like, well, that might be useful to get like since we're up north to get Fire Shield.
Yeah,
or,
I mean, if you want to pay the
I've
price.
seen great utility come out of Blight.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that myself might be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess whatever. Let me look at the price. I'll just give you a price so you can pick how many you want to get based off that.
You could try to sell the other staff behind the Marcus's back to get extra money.
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys are gonna do with that stuff.
I think ultimately, like, Damon is like just not like doesn't care about money and would just rather be like, well, I have what I need, so I would rather just have what I have than sell an evil staff on the underworld market.
So I forget how it works, but you have to buy the scroll and then it costs money to put the scroll in your book. How much does it cost?
It's 50 gold per spell level. So for each of those, it would be 200 gold of inks and whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you decide what spells you want to choose, and I'll just pick 2 spells, and it will cost 1,500 for the both of them, with including the inks for putting them in your spellbook. Unless you already have that ink. I think you might have bought that ink a while ago. Though you could have used it by now.
Look at the ledger.
Because it's, here it would be like 500 gold per spell scroll. And then for a 4th level spell scroll. And then it would be, I guess you could probably get it at a discount by working with the queen. I'd say maybe 400 gold per spell scroll, which would be 800. So if you have to buy the ink, it would still be 1,200 total gold. But serious question, when you level up, don't you just get spells? I forget how that works.
I don't think you do with Wizard.
I think you get like 1 for free.
I might be misunderstanding it.
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah.
My understanding was with Wizards, like, the benefit is like you can theoretically get spells of your level at any time.
Right. I think that's the bonus thing. But I think you
don't get them like for.
I think you still weirdly like get one for free. I honestly kind of like the way where you actually have to go looking for them or find them.
Each time you gain a wizard level, you can add 2 wizard spells of your choice to your spellbook for free. Each of these spells must be of the wizard of the level for which you have spell slots as shown by the wizard table.
There you go. So you probably haven't done that since you started this campaign. You came in at level 5 wizard, and you're now level 7 wizard. So I guess pick 4 spells and throw them in your spellbook.
All right. Wow. What a time to be alive. Yeah. All right. Well, then I will take Fire Shield and Blight for sure. And
I'm trying to remember what cool
I don't know. I might
4th
just
level
add those
spells
two
there
for
are.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I would probably have to think a little harder. Because I was really like at those two, and I was like, I can probably afford to get one. So I just need to decide between those two.
Yeah, well,
So,
Fire Shield makes a lot of sense for your character, obviously.
Yeah.
Though I wonder if there's a 4th level concentration spell that might be like compatible or like comparable to haste for you, or maybe those aren't until 5th level.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. And probably those are the only 2 4th levels I should get because I only leveled up and have been able to use 4th level
Sure,
spells.
that makes sense.
For the last level, but maybe there's some 3rd level spells I can. Or we can say that Tiny Hut was one of the other, like one of the 4.
You already paid for that, so you might as well add another one. You guys might want Identify, since technically I've been basically giving it to you for free. It would be nice if there were a narrative reason why you would be able to identify shit.
I think I can prepare Identify if I want to keep that as a permanent prepped spell.
Oh, okay. But I think you can cast it as a ritual, and I don't know if you have to have it prepared to do that. Just various thoughts.
Yeah, Identify sounds good, actually. And then I'll just come up with one more.
Ooh, there's also Wall of Fire.
Yes.
Which is pretty fucking dope.
I'm a Wall of Fire advocate.
Could we combine that with Wind Wall to make a like wall of fire and wind?
You can combine all the walls to like trap people in like elaborate elemental. It's terrible. And great.
The square.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take Wall of Fire instead of Blight since we already have Blight. Because that's a 4th level.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is concentration, so it wouldn't stack with your haste, but I don't know. Maybe you could. Maybe you could talk Terran into learning haste and twinning it on you and DeMarcus.
Could I do that, or could I only concentrate on one?
I think you can, though I'm not 100% sure. I think I've heard of it, so.
Because that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I guess narratively, as we're talking about improving our combat prowess, Vosner would ask the group if they would like to maybe like talk about like how they've been getting stronger, and say, like, and think about different ways we can improve fighting with one another. He's going to talk about maybe using his new types of wild shape to help us out in battles.
Yep, you can cast haste on 2 targets at the same time if you twin it.
Sweet.
Wild.
The only issue is that it's the same concentration check since it's the same spell. So if your concentration gets disrupted, you would effectively stun 2 of your party members.
And I have the known spell problem of being a sorcerer.
Correct. Though your constitution's pretty high.
Oh no, I just don't know that many spells, so.
Right.
I'm here for the drama.
I will psychic shield you so hard while you twin haste on me and DeMarcus.
The cool thing is that Fire Shield or the Wall of Fire would count as a concentration spell, which would still increase your AC once you hit that point with Warcaster.
Yeah.
A lot of cool synergies.
So I'm thinking identify, hold person, wall of fire, and fire shield are the 4 I will add.
Okay, you said identify, hold person, fire shield, and wall of fire?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Those so I'll drop those in my spell book. And I guess now I'll probably want to think about preparing new spells.
Yeah, the options are endless.
They really are.
In terms of like shopping supplies for going north, we have like furs and stuff like that. We have some rations. They're not a lot. So, yeah, we have 1 week's worth of rations plus 20 homemade wolf rations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the homemade wolf rations are bad now.
Damn it.
That's like how long ago?
Rotted wolf meat.
4 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, okay, so we have like a week's worth of rations.
That was pre-Mirabar.
I mean, we're gonna be able to buy those when we get up north too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's gonna be more like Icewind Dale specific stuff in Fireshear probably.
Okay.
Do we have enough like potions and things like that?
I don't know. Have people been using their potions?
I
I
still
still
have.
have mine.
I gave mine to somebody
Marcus.
during a battle.
I think to Marcus. But I don't think he drank it. Maybe he did.
I think you basically like gave it to him, like casting it on him, basically.
Oh, okay, I've got one in my inventory from when I was gone. Should I destroy it?
No, I think it's fine.
I will buy 2 more potions of greater healing. And Damon can have one, and then was someone else missing one?
I think everybody else.
I
has.
have one, but I know druids with an herbalism kit, which I'm proficient with, can make potions, but John and I would have to talk about.
Yeah, we'd have to work out. And my sort of like initial response would be like you can probably make like Lobi potions for starters unless we get like deep into this alchemy stuff. Which is not like something I'm against, but I think it would require actually narratively working it out.
Yeah, need some training, otherwise you're gonna poison us.
Don't worry, I'll cast poison resistance on you guys. And then we'll try.
Yeah, so I'll buy 2 greater healing potions and give them both to Damon, since he's pretty mobile to get them to who needs them on the battlefield. Anyway.
Cool. 2 potions of greater healing.
Could I add 2 alchemists' fires to our grocery list?
Yeah, just tell me how much they cost.
Oh, let me see here.
I also might want to get potions of cold resist, but those can be expensive.
I don't know if we've got... Yeah, the Alchemist Fire, I'm pretty sure, is 50 GP on the player handbook.
That's what I'm seeing too.
Let me check.
I hope that's not exorbitant. Whoops.
Yeah, I don't even see it on here, so 50's fine.
A Google search had 50 come up.
Yeah.
Alright,
Though.
so you're getting 2 of those?
Yeah, That should last quite some time, actually.
Okay. Anything else?
I can't find potions of cold resistance on the Silvery Moon market prices.
It's probably just resistance.
Oh.
And then it's whatever you pick. But I could be wrong. Yeah, potion of resistance 630.
Cool.
So I'd say with the discount from the queen, that those would both be 500.
500. I'll get 4 of them.
Doesn't Missile still have a bunch of those?
Not in my inventory.
I think
We
we
used
chugged.
a bunch in the ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Come in pretty handy.
That's right, to stave off the dying.
That thing. Yeah.
That's what they're there for. Alright. But yeah, I think a successful shopping trip. And she would definitely leave a tip with the captain and thank him for holding their rooms and for being so kind.
He
And,
says, I'm happy to hold your room forever. Please.
that's very much not necessary.
I will
We're
put
on
you
our way
down
out
as a
of town.
maybe.
Nope, just we probably won't be back. But thank you, you've been very kind.
Oh, well. Good work.
Yeah, and go find Salaron.
Yep, you find him back where you were just at, which is... Where's my map? Nope, not that. Oh, that would have been bad. For fuck's sake. Is it not on here? Where the fuck is my scene? I got too many scenes. Alright. This. Activate. Alright. And, you come in and find, Sauron. Just chilling. He, sort of waves his axe at you, with a pint in the other hand. Says, hey there. Welcome back. You guys, ready to take to the sea?
As ready as we ever are.
Alright, good stuff. Well, we can head out now. That's fine. I'll take you to my ship. And then the sort of quarters aren't super nice, so sorry about that. It's mostly a trading vessel, but I'm sure you'll find a comfortable place to set up, if you will.
Sounds good.
And he leads you to sort of the dock. And it's actually the dock that you came in on with Darendon so many moons ago. And you sort of take in Luskin as you start to load your stuff onto the boat. And you definitely are leaving this town with, well, in a different state than when you found it so many weeks ago. And you get aboard the ship, and there Salaran's men are sort of tending to things, getting things ready, and setting sail. And you notice that a number of them are actually going down into the lower quarters to man oars. And I will send you... Doodly doodly doo. Where is it? Not that.
Yeah, Izzy is immediately trying to see if this was the ship that she stowed away on.
Oh my god, I don't have that one up. And you guys take to the sea, and with one sort of passing glance, you guys aboard Zalaran's trireme head north as crew members row and the sails fill with air, carrying you swiftly north. And, yes, Isolde, you recognize this to be the ship that you stowed away on so many months ago.
So many months. That's super cool.
What's everybody's day looking like time-wise? Because I've got more stuff planned, but I don't want to, like, go super far over if people are really busy.
I probably have an hour left before I'll need to bail.
Good either way.
About the same.
Yeah, I could go until 5.
Okay.
Same.
Good.
So, I guess we can take to the main map. Now that you guys have access to it, you guys can sort of switch around as you please.
Over there. This is a gorgeous ship, by the way.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Very
Thanks.
cool.
I got it from Patreon Bailey Wiki. You can see at the bottom. And so I can't remember what we decided was the pace of a ship like this. I should look it up.
Wow, it's been a long time since we've been on the travel map.
8 miles per hour. Let's say that you're traveling for 15 hours. 10 hours would get you... Okay, yeah, it's actually not that far. You could probably get there in, I'd say about a day, given weather. So, yeah, you set off, and it is a pretty swift journey. You take on speed, and the oars are a-moving, and Captain Zalaran is sort of standing at the helm, just sort of enjoying the snow as it falls down on the ship.
Nice. And it's like evening now?
Yeah, I would say it's getting into the night, yep.
Cool. Izzy's gonna stay up top and like keep her eyes trained on the mountains and snowy whatever she can see.
Yeah, it's the snow makes it so visibility cuts off at a certain distance, but still far away in the distance you can see the faint outline of mountains of the spine, on the other side of which you know is your homeland.
Exciting and terrifying.
I'll walk up to Isolde and just kind of stand next to her and say, so, how do you feel about returning to your homeland?
Mixed feelings, I guess. Mostly, nervous, but I don't know, with that special sort of, I guess yearning to be home.
Yeah, I understand
Very.
the yearning.
Yeah, very excited to be there and dreading it.
Well, I guess for me, well, I guess the forests always didn't seem to be so dreadful. I can only imagine what it's like to go home back to a city. So, is there anything that you know about what's going on? I don't know, I heard some whispers in the taverns about 10
You cut out, Garrett.
Oh, he essentially asked Izzy if everything was okay in Ten Towns, because he heard, whisperings and jokes about 10 towns being less towns or something. So he's just asking.
I don't really know very much. The sort of things that I was telling you all before about the sort of historical conflicts between the townspeople and the barbarians and Councilman Rayner's vendetta, I guess, against those of barbarian bloodline seem to be much more rampant than even when I left, and perhaps greater than I can imagine. The people that I've spoken to about it speak of it like it's, I don't know, like a war zone. So, I don't know very much, but I'm thinking of sending a message to my father.
So you
Just
think
to let him know we're coming.
changed that much?
Sorry, could you say that again?
You think it's changed that much, even for the time you've been gone?
That is what I am being led to believe. And it doesn't seem out of the question. We have certainly seen a lot of change in the time that that I've known you. That's how long I've been gone. So.
Well, that's true. I understand. So, now that we have a half a minute, how do you feel about, I don't know, this larger mission that we have? I know that we've experienced a lot, and you and I specifically being pulled to another plane. That was, at least for me, very scary.
You say that, but the figure that we saw seemed to recognize you, so I'm led to believe that you have been there before.
Not consciously. There were lots of dreams that I had, especially early on when we were at the guild. I think it was because of that portal underneath them. But I don't know who that figure is. I can really understand where Johoff is coming from in not knowing all of the details. And for me to, realize that it's not just a dream, it's nice to have someone that understands, but I don't know if it's burdening you in any sort of way.
I honestly have not spent much time thinking about it. There have been a lot of other things on my plate.
Yeah, as the leader of the group, that's a lot of pressure.
I know that you are very concerned with the bigger picture, and perhaps I should be more so as well, but I have to admit my focus, at least for the last, I guess, 2 weeks or so, has seemed to be making sure that this group doesn't fall apart.
Yeah, there's a lot going on between all of us. Concerned about,
Understandably so.
just concerned about Johoff and the change I've seen in Terran and whatever is getting after DeMarcus and Missile. I really don't think he prays. I think he might be talking to something in his head.
Maybe. All I know is that he looks much better than he used to, and if he starts to exhibit the things that he did before again, then we will have to have another talk, but there's only so much I can do to keep an eye on everyone.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just not one person. I think we all need to put forth a little bit more effort to look after each other. Otherwise, your fear and my fear will come true. We'll eventually fall apart.
Well, then I'm glad that you are looking out for the rest of the group.
I'm trying. I don't want to impose my will on anyone, really. But I'd just like to make sure you are doing okay. You know, I know everyone means a lot to you. But you can spread the wealth too. You can at least trust us to continue to look out for one another. Maybe you have to tell us a little bit more. But we really appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, Fosner. And, I mean, if you are keeping an eye on Missile and you are concerned, you can always tell me. I am perhaps not so afraid to impose upon other people. So, if there is a problem, I will handle it.
Yeah, I think he's, well, like you said, doing better. But
good.
Just, I guess he likes to touch a lot of things, so we just need to make sure we're in the same room or something.
Sure. I think I'm going to send a message to my father if you wouldn't mind giving me a bit of privacy.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Fosner.
And he walks away looking for new whales to be.
Yeah. Did we get you a whale last time? Did you roll and get it?
Yeah,
You did.
yeah.
Okay.
I saw a narwhal, and
That's
we
right.
still have to find a token for it.
Yeah, we do. Fuck. Haven't worked that out yet. You could turn a giant elemental of every element, so I feel a little bit off the hook. Eventually, Zalaron sort of shows up to Isolde and says, hey, so I was thinking about it, and, there's a lady on the shore here who, in Fireshire, who trains griffins. So, could be a way to get yourself north in a hurry.
On the backs of griffins?
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive enterprise, but I have the feeling you guys got the cash to, support it.
And is it like we would purchase a griffin or just like a ride?
It's sort of like a renting situation, though I imagine she would sell a griffin if you had the coin. It might be a little too steep for your price range.
Yes,
though.
I'm afraid that's a bit too much responsibility for us, probably.
Yeah, sure. I don't even know what you'd feed one. I think they eat
don't
horses, but that might just be kind of like a wives' tale.
I think that I think they're a bit scary, to be honest.
Oh yeah, totally terrifying. You would not find me on one of those. But they move real quick, faster than a boat, and they fly straight there. Given that if the weather's good,
Sure. Do you know, like, how quickly?
Jeez, I couldn't speak to that, but I don't know. Probably cover quite a bit of ground. Maybe it's only 2 days ride to get to Bryn Shander. But again, I think that's probably contingent on weather and other aerial factors, what have you.
How many days did it take her via caravan when she left last time?
So the way we played up the story last time is that you actually took a boat from Bryn Shander, or one of the 10 towns, on the river around. So you basically went through the Sea of Moving Ice a little bit tangentially to it, and then down to Fireshear, and then you hopped on this boat to get to Luskin, and then you took a boat from there. I can't remember exactly where. Can't remember where we worked out, but
like, she would know how many days it usually takes, and it's a lot more than 2.
Oh yeah, you would know that it would be like 4 times as long. It'd probably be 2 or 3 times as long by boat, and maybe 5 or 6 times as long by foot.
Okay. Thanks for the tip. I think we will probably speak with her.
Sure.
Scary or not, that seems like a good choice.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Her name is Dashara, by the way. If you, I'll introduce you, but in case we get separated or whatever.
Of course. Griffins for rent. Got it.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna get back to running my ship here, but not much to do here, so just let me know if you need anything.
Thank you, Zaron.
And, does anybody else have narratives that they wanted to do?
Missile will have been staring at Damon's feet rather conspicuously for most of the ride. That's it.
Is Damon gonna, like, test out the boots in front of him or something?
Yeah, after he becomes aware, I might, I would say, "Oh, Master Missile, would you like to see if they work?"
Why, yes, I would, Damon. And he'll, like, become very animated.
Yeah, Damon will say, like, is there any specific way I activate these, or...
Why, jump slightly higher than you think you're capable of. That should do the trick.
Very well, Master Missile. And then I will jump in the air. And I presume, like, the little fans on the backs of the boots will kick in.
Yeah, what's the descriptor on how they look?
I think it's up to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had, like, you know how, is it Mercury, the god who flies around with little wings on the back of his shoes? It's like that, but a little propeller.
Okay. So, like,
and maybe
dual propellers, or?
Beg your pardon?
On the bottom of them, or the sides, or I guess it doesn't really matter.
They'll be right on the heel, but they kind of turn to adjust to give you forward momentum and give you lift.
Yeah.
With the new sensation, I'll like wobble in the air a little bit before the propellers like stabilize me, and then I'll just stand in the air for a moment before then like taking a step and then like getting some momentum to like zip around above the deck of the ship.
Nice.
Zalaron's gonna yell out, "There's something wrong with your robot!"
Oh no, there's everything right with our robot.
And then I will just do like a couple laps, and
Yeah.
then like dip below the level of the ship, and then back up, and then
Yeah.
land back on the deck.
Damon, as you're sort of doing this majestic pass, flying through the air, sort of snow bouncing off you get some height, and you're kind of high above the ship, and you see in the water a dark shadow swimming up on the ship on both sides.
No.
And out of the water, you see tentacles begin to reach and pull and grab the oars, and in one easy grasp, snap the oars in half. And Zalaron sort of looks to the crew and shouts, "We got Krakens!" And out of the water, on both sides of the ship, two ginormous Krakens start to swim towards the exterior. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, as I saw that, I would have like pulled my greatsword out and lit it up and
Yeah.
shouted to the rest of the crew, "There is something in the water."
Yeah.
From 60 feet above.
And we're going into initiative.
Izzy's like 2 seconds away from casting Sending. And
Oh
Krakens.
no.
Do you press Alt for initiative? Does that work on, or for advantage on initiative rolls as well?
Good question.
We will see. Apparently not.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, whoa.
Did you just spin the Krakens?
Yeah, I was trying to spin that one so it was at least kind of facing the group. Okay. And let me roll my boys. Go! Nice. Okay, Mortimer, remove.
Could you change mine to 15 in virtue of the goggles of awareness giving me advantage on initiative rolls?
Yep.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yep, missile goes up on the initiative order. And, blah, 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 blah. How are we at with everything else? So, I guess one thing I want to ask is, realistically, oh my god, I twisted all of the NPCs too. I didn't realize it. Realistically, how many people are sort of ready for battle, and how many people are sort of caught off guard?
Marcus would be caught off guard. He was just like reading below, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, Terran would be caught off guard.
A feature of the goggles is that the wearer cannot be surprised,
Yep.
so perhaps a missile is...
No, you're on the top deck anyways, so it makes sense. I guess I was thinking of like who's below deck and like casually playing cards or something that's gonna have to like sprint up top.
Oh, Terran would be on top deck.
Okay.
Vosner's looking for narwhals.
Izzy's
so
on
I guess
top
he
deck,
could
but
use something
she's super surprised. She was focusing very hard.
I think if you guys, okay, yeah, I'll give like, I don't know, I'll have Isolde and DeMarcus enter on round 2 then. Just because you were busy doing other other shit.
Yeah, Joab would have been up top, but not really looking for that to happen. So.
Okay. Okay, so you guys see this sailor sort of move off his post and pull out a crossbow and shoot at the Kraken, sort of shouting everybody away from the rail. And it is, oops, the Ice Kraken's turn. He is going to move. What is his movement?
This is why we don't go on the water, folks.
Every time.
Krakens?
I mean, if I didn't have things kill you, you wouldn't have anything to be emo about, so that's all good.
Well, I'm sure Marcus could be emo without this.
That's so true. Swim speed, 50 feet. Got it. He comes up to the ship and sort of climbs over, breaking oars as he sort of like gets his tentacles above the ship, and smacks the guy who just shot at him. And I gotta remember how many attacks he has. Oh, 2 tentacle attacks. Got it. And then swings another tentacle at Missile.
No. My ACU should be 11, because of the cloak, but it'll still probably wreck me. Yeah.
Yeah, it hits with an 18 and smashes down. A heavy, like, tentacle sort of slams into Missile. And you have to make a DC 20 or... Wait, no, you are grappled. You get picked up in the tentacly hand of this kraken, as does this other sailor who's now sort of hovering in the air in the hand of this ice kraken. And...
This feels familiar.
Yep.
No.
And Damon, it is your turn. You are flying in the air. I guess you can put yourself wherever you kind of want to have started by flying.
Yeah. I will, it's the South Kraken that has Missile, or is it the
Yes.
one?
Correct.
Yeah. I am just going to cast haste on myself. And then move over that way to see what I can do about getting Missile out of the Kraken's grasp. So
Yeah, you hear, "Save me! Save me!"
so I'll come up this far.
Okay.
Is that close enough to hit him?
Yeah. Consider his
Okay.
hitbox to be that bigger red box. Sort of his
Okay.
tentacles reach very far, but that also means he's subject to being attacked.
Okay, yeah. I will just swing at him the one time.
And you hit.
And I'm just winding up for another swing for my next turn.
Yeah. Nice.
And that is it.
Johoff, you sort of startle up, but you're quick to your feet because you are fast as shit.
That's true, I am. Real quick, how high are the sides of the ship here?
I'm gonna say whatever you think is reasonable. As my ship expert.
Okay. So, let's see here. Make sure I've done my measurements correct. Yeah. So Jooff is going to turn to the one behind and fling his hammer at it. Let's see, then he's going to use his free action to recall it.
Okay.
Throw it a second time. Uh-oh. My, just go kerplunk in the water.
Yes.
I was gonna transport myself to it, but maybe that's a bad idea.
I can say if it goes wide enough, like out into the water, you could transport to it before it plunks into the water.
Nah, I mean, I'll just recall it to my hand next turn. No
Okay.
big deal. So I'm then going to... Let's see, those are my 2 attacks. So I'm going to take Flurry of Blows. Run up to this guy. And try to bop him twice.
You bop.
And then move back by DeMarcus. Oops.
Yeah.
And that's it for me with my hammer just sinking below the waves.
Okay.
Alright.
At the end of your turn, the Ice Kraken attacks the sailor next to him. Now he has 3 people up, like, in his various tentacles. And it is Vosner's turn.
Yeah. So Vosner will first go up here to this Kraken that has everyone. And I'm gonna do something that I haven't done. I'm going to cast Contagion.
Oh. Okay, so he saves. What happens?
I guess. Let me see. Let me read.
It's essentially like death saves. He has to save 3 times or fail 3 times, and if he fails 3 times, he gets one of these effects put on him. But for the whole duration, he has the poisoned condition.
Even if he succeeds here?
I think so. It was a linguistic issue that was highly debated. Yeah,
On
like
a
in this
hit.
text.
So you
Yeah,
do
in this
hit,
text, it
but then you
doesn't say
fail.
it.
Okay. So on a hit, you inflict any of the things described below. At the end of each turns, it must make a Constitution saving throw. After failing 3, the disease effects last for the duration. So I'm guessing it hasn't set in until... Interesting. Does it have like 3?
The duration is 7 days, so it could apply for the next 3 turns, and then...
Oh, okay, and then maybe last forever or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like on D&D Beyond, because it was an updated... They updated the language so that it wasn't like weak as shit, because it's a pretty high level spell.
Yeah.
And the updated language is your touch inflicts disease. Make a melee spell attack against a creature within your reach. On a hit, the target is poisoned, and at the end of each of the poisoned target's turns, they make the con saving throw. 3 saves, no longer poisoned. 3 fails, it is no longer poisoned, but then has one of these diseases.
Got it.
And I will send that.
So it's poisoned right now, is basically what's going on.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's poisoned right now. And I guess he would want the... well, if he fails, then it would be filth fever.
Okay.
So.
Disadvantage on strength checks. That makes sense.
And then,
Yep.
After that, he's gonna use a bonus action to bring out one of his bad boys, and he's gonna come and let's see, be a giant tornado.
Whoa. All right, cool. So, at the end of your turn, the Ice Kraken uses Fling to throw... I guess I don't have it on here. But to throw this one guy, let's see, up to 40 feet in a random direction. Yep, he is going to throw this sailor this way. Through the air, plunging him into the water. And he lets out one of those screams, Wilhelm screams, as he flies. And then it is DeMarcus' turn, who is reading a book. Do we still want DeMarcus to have his turn skipped?
I'm sorry, John, what was that?
Do you still want DeMarcus to have his turn skipped because he's not paying attention?
That's your call. I mean, he was down there reading. However you think that would work out.
I'll say that you grab your maul and run up to the top deck, and all your movement is used to get to, let's say, this location. And you still get your turn, though.
Okay. Alright, so that being the case, if I haste myself, is it the case that all my movement is still used up?
I'll say that what you did was just cast haste, and then you burned all your movement. You were far enough away from the top that it took you a while to get to here. And now you are out of movement, but you are hasted.
Okay. In that case, let's see. Out of movement, hasted. As a bonus action, then seeing tiny little milk drinking pal in this thing's arms. I guess as a bonus action, then I will use my Vow of Enmity on that ice kraken down there with missile in its arm.
Okay. Yeah. You cast Vow of Enmity on it, and I will mark it with something.
Currently, you have me targeted.
You have you targeted.
John, I believe I still have a regular action, correct?
No, you use that for haste. You do have a haste action, which is either to dash or attack something. Or
could I consume a potion?
Yeah, I'll allow it. What are you consuming?
Okay. I'm gonna drink a potion of cold resistance because I got a feeling DeMarcus might get thrown into some cold water here.
Yep. All right, good call. Yeah, you haste yourself, run upstairs, chug a potion, and get to it. This sailor is going to attack the Kraken. And miss. And he's going to sort of step back a bit. This sailor is going to shoot this Kraken. And step over here. And it is Missile's turn. You are restrained in the grip of a ice kraken.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It did.
So I assume Morty is still on deck. So
yeah.
When last we played, he had flamethrower equipped. I'm gonna just keep that being what he's got equipped. And my little man, he's gonna flamethrow this Kraken here.
Sick. No targets to save. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, did I not?
No. It didn't cover enough of the thing, but it's just because of how I programmed it. So it's a dex save.
I think so. I can't read.
Yeah, he fails, which means he takes looks like 8 damage.
Nice. And is Missile still wrapped up in there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you'll hear, like, kind of smothered with a tentacle, "I'm sorry, companions!" And, Missile's gonna take 2 hockey pucks, one with a plus, or with a plus and a minus on either side. He's gonna smash the 2 pluses together and cast Thunder Wave.
Ooh.
Sweeps from me, so let's just send it in the direction of that Kraken.
Yeah. You explode in like an extreme amount of force, and I'm gonna say that you both do take damage from that. Well, since you're restrained by the thing that you're hitting, like you're trying to hit that tentacle, I'm going to say that it hurts you and it hurts it, but it makes it save, so I don't think it breaks, it loses its grasp on you. So there's like this little explosion in the tentacle of its, and it sort of like lets go for a second and then re-grips on you.
Nuts. All right, so it goes. That's all we got.
Very cool though. If it had actually failed, I would have given it to you.
That's cool. Thanks.
Oops, he's not dead. This sailor is going to, he's gonna run at this thing and stab it with a hand axe. And fail miserably. He's gonna swing a second time. And then he's gonna run back, and the thing is going to use an attack of opportunity on him. This should look familiar.
Sentinel.
Oh, all right. You want to attack it?
Wait, how can you sentinel that?
As a reaction.
Doesn't it have to be a target that's getting hit within 5 feet of you?
Yeah, but it was when it was running away. I'll allow it. It's fine.
Oh.
The hitbox thing is kind of fucky with how I made these models, so I'm gonna let things slide.
Fair.
So, punch the Kraken. Oh, he crits! For 37 damage!
Jesus Christ.
Describe your
What is
critical...
the plus 16? Oh, crit.
Yeah, because of the
Damn.
full roll. Describe
Right,
what
right.
it looks like when you crit this Ice Kraken.
All of a sudden, a large sort of like tornado comes, sort of like looks like a little pillar of wind, only sideways, and it slaps it across the face.
All right. Yeah, and I'll say that you slap it so hard that he actually drops all of the people he's still holding on to, which is this sailor and Missile.
Nice.
And it is Alaron's turn, and he is going to shoot his heavy crossbow at the Kraken on this side. He says, "You guys got that one down there?" And he's gonna pull back this way. And he's going to reload and shoot again. 2 hits. And that is his turn. This sailor is now free. He's going to stand up, and he's going to rush at this thing with a hand axe and hit it. Twice. And he cuts into the meat of the Kraken. And it is now this Kraken's turn, who's going to spill up onto the ship, getting deep in there, and he's going to attack Terran.
If I could interrupt really quickly, did I land on the ship or did I land in the water?
You landed on the ship, right where you're at right now.
Got it.
And this giant tentacle comes slamming down on the ship, and Terran sort of dodges out of the way, and another tentacle comes slapping out towards this sailor. And he dodges out of the way.
Jeez.
Classic John's monsters. That's fine. Isolde, you're up.
Alright, well, it seems like this would be the kind of thing that'd be really hard to ignore. So, I'm gonna assume she sees what's going on and runs down the stairs.
Were you in the middle of casting Sending?
Yeah. I think probably my movement is all I have.
I was gonna say, like, maybe you do your movement and then, like, a bonus action? Like, maybe that was the spell that you were preparing to cast or something? I don't want to undermine your turn too hard. This is a hard fight.
No, you're fine. There's really not much. There's something very specific that she wants to do, but she can't get there in time, so I'm actually just gonna take the dash action.
That makes sense.
And get up behind Taryn.
Okay.
But yeah, she doesn't have enough focus yet to cast a spell.
Alright, this guy is going to shoot his crossbow. And a barrage of crossbow bolts fly out. Taryn, you are up. Last in the initiative.
Okay. So does using one of the spells in my staff count as casting a spell for like a bonus action thing?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It just kind of expands your spell list and spell slots as well. I would.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but I wanted to make sure. I'm just going to start with a vitrolic sphere up here. So it's going to take 5d4 acid damage.
Every turn after this?
At the end of its next turn, then it'll wash off.
Got it.
And he'll look back to see like if Isolde's planning something, or if he should just like...
And as you turn back at the end of your turn, a tentacle comes and smacks you.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
No!
It's not what we wanted.
And you are grasped, and it wraps around you, and you sort of like make eye contact with Isolde as it tugs backwards, flinging you into the water.
So glad I have cold resistance.
And this sailor is going to use his turn to try to swim back towards the boat and make a Constitution saving throw for shock. Not so good. And he is at a point of exhaustion. This ice kraken is going to go, and he's going to attack at this elemental, swinging his tentacle, and then he's going to attack at this sailor. Actually,
I'm not grappled or restrained.
You're not, because you're too big, I think.
It says on my sheet I'm immune to those.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you're air anyways, that makes sense. And he hits this sailor with an attack, and then he, at the end of his own turn, uses fling to send this guy out into the water. And that is his turn. Damon, you are up.
Is Missile still grappled, or did he somehow get out?
Missile is no longer grappled.
Okay. Let me see here. Then I am going to use my first action to dash over to here. And,
You just fly through the air like that?
yeah.
There is a chance that the Kraken could smack at you. Is that something you were aware of?
Yeah, I was ready to take whatever opportunity attacks are
Okay.
there.
Then that is coming your way. 26.
I will shield.
Okay. Damage undone.
And then I will use an action and a psionic die to use telekinetic movement, and like I will reach out like a psychic tendril towards Terran and like extend my arm. And assuming he's willing to be pulled, I can move creatures of my size or smaller up to 30 feet.
What?
That's dope.
Alright, yeah,
Um,
Karen will let you.
And I will like just pull him to me and then like pull him back onto the ship, like out of reach of the Kraken.
Yeah. Yeah, you fly over top like Superman and then lasso Terran with your mind. High level Dungeons and Dragons.
And then I will turn and just use my action surge to just take a swing then at now this Kraken, which is closest to me.
Shit, yeah. The rest of the crew watches as Damon rocket boots over the top of the ship and then uses his mind to move his friend and then slices at an ice Kraken while they're all just holding their little hatchets. And you miss.
And now knowing like at least no one I care about is in the water or in a tentacle, I'm going to try and like get focused.
Yeah. All right.
And that's my turn.
Johoff, you are hammerless and standing in the center of a boat.
I'm gonna recall the hammer with my free action.
Sweet. It pops up. It is wet and cold.
Cool. And well, whatever. Close enough. And I'm gonna run up to this guy and attack.
Nice.
Cool, cool. Guess it's a little too wet and cold, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flurry of blows, give him a punch. And another swing with the hammer. Alright, not a super effective turn, but could have been worse. And then I'm going to move away.
Yeah. At the end of your turn, it is going to swing at Missile. Grabbing him once again.
No! Here.
This battle is just going to be Damon rushing back and forth, saving people.
But he does
Oh,
not have
everybody else
enough to
keep
fling.
chipping away.
Vosner, you're up.
So, do they have to make another save against that spell?
Oh, yep. It succeeded the first one, correct?
Yeah.
It's Constitution save.
It is.
It looks like it's gonna save. It's a beefy boy.
Yeah. Okay, well that's fine. So Vosner is going to essentially move into the Kraken's.
Isn't poisoned right now,
Yeah, that's a good point. I should have had disadvantage on that attack against Missile and against Damon. No, he shielded it. Here's what I'll do. I'll give Damon back that cast of shield. Actually, no. I'll say it missed Missile. Actually, it can't miss Missile. Damon, you don't lose that use of shield, but
Okay.
I'm gonna it's just gonna have to hit Missile even with disadvantage because it's 7 + 5, so that's a plus 12 to hit, and your AC is what?
11 with the cloak of
11.
protection.
So
I could shield it though as well.
all right, yeah. Let's roll the attack again then.
So if it's more than 16,
Yeah.
well,
I'll undo the damage. Don't worry.
thank you.
Oh, wait, it didn't do the damage. Sweet. I don't know why I rolled a Constitution saving throw, but anywho, yes, the 19 will, the 31 would be enough. Unless, wait, did I just hit myself? Weird. Okay, we good.
Looks right.
Yep. All right. So Vosner, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move into the guy's space and turn into a larger, snowy-looking tornado with kind of shadowy-looking eyes, and do a whirlwind attack.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So it succeeds its saving throw, but it still takes damage? Wait, how'd that work?
Yeah, so the saving throw is to be moved away.
Oh, okay.
And then I, there are 2 saves that it has to make, a dex one as well. Did it make its dex?
Oh, it didn't make it. Let me roll it. If the target is thrown, oh no, it doesn't have to make that because that's only if it gets thrown at another creature.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind then.
But yeah, you come in whirlwind and I guess just take damage? No, that damage is only, hold on. If the target is thrown, then it must take the same damage. Okay, so it takes the damage no matter what. That's kind of weird. Whatever. Right?
Oh, so the dexterity save is to keep from being knocked prone.
Yeah, and also to to see if something else gets hit by it. But the question is, do you just do 16 damage even if it saves its saving throw?
It looks.
It looks like that's how it's printed.
It's kind of
usually-
weird that there's no like way to stop that damage, like an attack or whatever. But we can figure it out in post. Okay, is that your turn?
It might be like, since he's in your space, like if a fire elemental stands on you, you take the fire damage type of thing.
Yeah, that's...
I think you still can roll to save against half of that damage, but whatever.
Oh, okay, that's true.
Anything else, Fosner?
I'm googling it.
Yeah. Yeah, that... I don't know exactly. I think that would be it.
Okay.
I don't think I could do anything else.
And at the end of your turn, he is going to fling missile. And
An attack or no?
no, it's just an action since he's already got you grappled. And I'm gonna say he's gonna fling you sort of into the sail, and if you want to react and try to like grab the sail, you can.
Oh, you know I do.
Yeah.
So acrobatics, I guess.
Thank God I'm so dexterous. All right.
Alright.
If I flash of genius, no, I don't think that works. Never mind.
No, I think it would. It's on skills as well, right? Or is it just saving throws?
Oh, it's ability check and saving throws. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's do. That comes out now 12.
Yeah. I was just gonna be DC 10. What genius move do you make to hold on to the sail of the ship?
That's a good question. I'll take my firearm and pierce it through the sail and kind of like use the friction to like slow myself down.
Yeah. So you you like stab your gun into the sail and it rips the sail, but you're able to hold on sort of like after tearing like a 4-foot hole in the sail. Just kind
Nice.
of hanging on for dear life, but now you're sort of hanging. So we'll have to figure
We'll
that out
figure it
when
out.
we get to your turn. DeMarcus, it is your turn.
I'm gonna run up to this guy, and I'm gonna take some swings at him and see what happens. Let's see. Whoops, hang on. I target it.
Is that about the whirlwind?
Yeah.
Oh, so how's it work? Oh, it takes
I've
half
got
damage.
advantage. John, can I roll twice? Is that okay?
Yeah, dude.
All right. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so it's supposed to take 6 health back. Okay,
And I'm
so
also
you had you had advantage.
Sorry, go.
You did the swing. You missed, so you did it again.
Yes.
Okay, that'll make
One
sense to
again,
me.
yeah.
So that was still your first attack.
Yeah, correct. I'm going to put.
For
a
the record,
first
if you
level-
hold Alt, you can roll with advantage.
Let's see.
You find your smite under level 1 spells.
Yeah, I was trying to use all the like macro bar stuff, but I'm not good at it, so I'm gonna go back to the way I normally do it. You know what? I'm just gonna do a third level.
Damn. Coming in hot. Yep, so you bash this thing with your 3rd level smite. For the record, that's your 2nd attack, and you have a 3rd attack. Oh, you're doing it.
That was the first attack.
Oh. Okay, yep. You have a 2nd attack.
Sorry, I keep hitting the dice so it doesn't attack with advantage.
Yeah, you can do
I
a
need
second
to
swing.
actually do it right. Gotcha, yep. Okay, no effect
This
there.
is the 2nd swing.
And now I've got my haste
Yep.
action, so I'm going to once again attack. And the advantage.
Hey, it hits.
How's this thing looking?
Pretty fucking
Okay.
hurt.
Well, I'm gonna put a first level smite on that last one then.
Nice.
And that's all I got, and I'm gonna stay there.
Yeah. And where are we at on the turn order? Okay, to Marcus. Sailors. You're gonna shoot at the one up there. And Missile, it is your turn. You're dangling from a sail.
And not without a plan.
Nice.
So, Missile kind of takes 2 fingers and whistles, and at that, Morty like dives off of the boat, and his feet start to spin, so that he can fly over to me. That's gonna take 40 feet for him to get there. So then I'm gonna hop on to Morty, who's flying. On his way over, I'd hope Morty could have cast Flamethrower at this bad boy.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I'm just gonna place it. Okay, that's cool.
Technically, you would need to touch the creature to make it fly, but since we're basically using Morty as you flying, I'll just allow it.
Okay. Is that... Ah, dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's alright. It's technically Morty's not the thing flying, you are, but the way we were flavoring it is that Morty is the thing that lets you fly, but that's fine.
It's more empirical and real if Morty's flying instead of some made-up man. And so with that, I'm gonna take the remaining 20 feet of flying.
Okay.
To fly... Let's just go 20 feet out of the way. I guess right there is good. Bring Morty along too.
Yeah. And
that'll
as you fly higher into the sky, you see looming in the distance an even bigger dark figure moving through the water. And that's where we're gonna end it for this session, because we are running out of time.
No.
nondescript, huge, dark figure. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Intrigue. It's like the Remoraz all over again.
Oh my god, I have like the same combats every time. It's so unoriginal.
No, I dig it. This is only the second time you've done that, and the first time was dope, and this time is also dope.
I'm glad I got flung instead of eaten this time, though, to be sure.
I know. I thought about it, and I was like, that seems
What
a
an
little,
upgrade.
a little too cruel. It would just one-shot you, and then there'd be no way to get to the body.
Classic.
Just a little gnomish dwarf.
But, you know, hey, maybe something else will eat you. There's so many options.
Yeah, whatever
And
the
that's what we call D&D.